Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. Always here with my friend Terry Johnson from Firearms Legal Protection, the grand high poobah of attorneys for FLP. And today I want to talk about the use of a rear naked choke or any choke by a private citizen and its legality. Now more than ever, you need trusted coverage to help you win the fight after the fight. The company I trust and recommend is Firearms Legal Protection. They offer discounts on all their plans at the link in the description. I recommend the premium plan. So Terry, there's been a lot of discussion in our culture recently about any kind of choke from police involvement.
Yes.
Whether that's a lateral vascular neck restraint or any kind of wind choke or blood choke or those things. And we can talk about those, and I actually think that they shouldn't be outlawed. I think they're a valuable item. But let's talk about it from a private citizen perspective. Because I know from my perspective as a defender, right? If somebody is, now of course I'm a good, sane, sober, moral, prudent person, right? So I'm not gonna attack somebody or hurt them.
Right.
So if somebody tried to choke me, I'm thinking I'm going out, they're gonna hurt me bad and put me in the hospital.
Sure.
And so I'm thinking from my perspective, if I'm subject to that, then I'm at risk of death or great bodily harm. And so then the use of deadly force becomes much more legally justifiable.
I 100% agree with you.
So now let's take it from the other side though. So now I'm a defender, right? I am a grappler. I've been studying jiu-jitsu for a couple years and all that. And we saw one on the channel recently. We put a link to it in the description.
Right.
Of a private citizen gets attacked. Dude punches on him, beats him up a little bit. He takes the guy down, passes around to his back, sends him night-night, and then turns him over. So is that then from that private citizen's perspective, is that a use of ordinary force or a use of deadly force?
Well, if he didn't die.
So he didn't. So he did a good thing. Once the guy went to sleep, he laid him over in a recovery position.
Correct.
Tucked him in goodnight, and then went and called the cops.
Correct. And here's the thing, if you have empty-handed skills, like you talk about all the time on the channel, those are great. I have not seen someone come back and say, well, you're a better fighter than him, so therefore we're going to charge you.
Right.
Doesn't work that way. Basically, if you look at the aggressor here, okay, and in this one you see this guy, and again, I couldn't tell the height, but I could tell there was
He's a big dude.
Big dude compared to the little guy.
Yeah.
And next thing
Just so you know, if you go watch the original video on that one, our defender was a big dude, which makes the other guy a freaking frost giant.
Yeah.
He was a big dude.
Yeah, and he took care of the situation, took him down, left him, called the police, did the things he's supposed to do. That is a justified use of physical force.
Sure.
Now, here's the thing. At this point, and I want to bring up two issues. This one, one person is defending themselves.
Yep.
So I have a right to use, again, force to defend myself. I didn't say lethal force in this situation, but I can use physical force to defend myself.
Right.
Here's the other part of this. And I know, well, let me say this. I know someone's going to ask, what if this guy's bigger?
What if things to death.
Forever, yeah. But in this case, I felt what he did was proper.
Very good.
The other thing I want to bring up is what happens if these two are just fighting each other, mutual combatants.
Right.
So two guys come out of a bar, they have an argument over a beer or something or other along those lines, a woman, and they start fighting and one does something to the other. Again, at that point, you got mutual combatants. One just got his ass kicked. Why? Because the other one was better. As long as you don't take it the extra step. In other words, the guy went night-night, well, you know what? I'm going to kick him now.
Right.
That becomes assaultive behavior.
Now it becomes like aggression to where it could be deadly force.
Exactly. So
Because he's a helpless person.
Exactly. So in a situation like that, it's very simple. You're allowed to defend yourself. You're allowed to take it to the point where it stops. And in this case, it stopped when the guy basically was passed out, per se.
When he sent his consciousness away.
And the guy walked away. So in my opinion, he did everything right. Now, again, as I said, if he would have kicked him, run over him with his car, anything along those lines after, then he would be in some kind of legal trouble.
So the principle to me sounds like, talking to the attorney, right? I like bringing principles to play rather than what ifs. That as somebody who's trained to use a submission technique like that well, that using it up to the place of incapacitation is ordinary force.
Yes.
So if I send him out, okay, I've done the right thing in response to his physical aggression. If I continue to hold it to where I start causing him a risk of death,
Yes.
now of course we've gone beyond. Or if I let him go and now he's helpless, and so I punch him a couple times in the head real hard because I'm mad at him, now I've upped the ante.
Well, exactly, and think of it this way. I've used lethal force, let's say a firearm, to defend myself, and the person that I defended myself from is on the ground. He's bleeding. Do I get the opportunity to go up to him and say, you know what, you messed with the wrong one today, boom, boom, boom?
No, of course
I
not.
can't do that.
That's murder.
It's the exact same principle here.
There's the principle. It's just at an ordinary force level, not at a deadly force level.
Exactly, and you brought up one other great point here, and it's training. And it's not just, training with firearms and training, your empty-handed skills, but you have to mentally prepare and mentally train because, again, situations come up. You've got to know when to start and when to stop.
All right, all you jiu-jitsu people, you know now, if you do use that rear naked choke, you can do that as ordinary physical force. Just got to let it go when he goes night-night. Terry, appreciate you, man.
John, thank you.